I think there's a lot more to this than we know or understand, both judicially and outside of the DOJ, both legally and criminally. But here goes.
New chairman, Congressman Andy Biggs. Congressman Chaffetz, I got to be honest, this has taken way too long. Michael Horowitz has over 600 people. We have been promised this again and again and again. There's no other conclusion based on what we know than there was premeditated fraud committed on a FISA court. Because it says verified on the top of a FISA application, we know now that it was unverifiable based on the Steele dossier, as the Grassley Graham memo says. Why so long, and will it be what Sarah just said?
I think Sarah is absolutely right. I don't think you can justify it going on this long. I think anything past Thanksgiving is highly suspicious. I do think that originally there was an anticipation that as much as 20% of the report would be redacted. Now the anticipation is that it would be sentences and paragraphs, not nearly the 20% that originally people thought. And I also think it's going to now envelope in people outside the Department of Justice, people like John Brennan and others, into other agencies.
Okay, so I think this is going to John Brennan, which it should be. And he says other agencies and other departments. So that's good. We'll see how soon that happens. Q said this is going to happen by the end of the year. We'll see. Start to happen by the end of the year. We'll see.
And I think that will be, as we look back, the reason why it took months and months longer, because this tangled web was much further and deeper than just the people at the Department of Justice. And I also think it will show how they manipulated and used the media here in the United States to move forward a political agenda at those at the top of the FBI.
And Congressman Andy Biggs, we really don't have any ambiguity here, because we already know the bulk of information in those applications. 3 of them signed by Jim Comey, 3 of them, was based on unverifiable material. We also know that everybody was warned that, number one, Steele had an anti-Trump bias, that Hillary paid for it, and they were all warned it wasn't verified. So there really is no other possible conclusion. So then the next question is, do you see crimes here, and who would you expect should, now that I guess Durham has, this is a criminal investigation, the right to subpoena, convene grand juries and press charges, who would you expect might be facing that in the near future?
Well, I'm concerned for people like McCabe, Comey, even Rod Rosenstein, anybody who signed off, Sally Yates, anybody who signed off on one of those FISA warrant applications. I'm concerned that I'm not really concerned. I believe that they're culpable in some way. I also believe that their sources are culpable, anybody who suppressed information. But, part of this, Sean, is, and the reason that I think this got delayed so very much is, remember when Horowitz did the last report he did, which gave us people like McCabe, Strzok, and Page, he kept getting whistleblower information at the last minute. So we've been promised this report for literally months, which tells me that he had to broaden the scope of his investigation, and I think there's going to be a world of people, perhaps even Brennan, perhaps even Clapper. The highest levels of the intelligence community, I think, are potentially culpable here.
All right, thank you both for that report. We appreciate it.
All right, at the highest level, we'll see. Justice sure moves slow when you got high criminals on it. Again, this Reichmark from Billings, Montana. Time will soon tell. People have to be patient, whether they want to be or not. Justice does move very slow at a higher level in this country. Finished Reichmark from Billings, Montana. It's a handy report and 85,000 views on it.